Today we are going to be looking at inverse relations and functions. So an inverse relation, if a relation pairs element A of its domain to element B of its range, the inverse relation pairs B with A. So if AB is an ordered pair of a relation, then BA is an ordered pair of its inverse. So let's find the inverse of this relation. So if this is x, this is y. So that means this becomes negative 1, 1, 0, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, and 3, 5. So now let's graph our relation and our inverse. So with our relation, we have 1, negative 1, 2, 0, 3, 1, 4, 1, and 5, 3. So now let's graph our inverse. Negative 1, 1, 0, 2, 1, 3, 4, 1, oops, sorry, 1, 3, 1, 4, and then 3, 5. I feel like I did that. 0, 2, 3, 1, 4. Sorry, that one goes up here. This one is not there. That looks better. So this one is our relation, and this is our inverse. So let's find the inverse of each equation. So to start, I'm going to take my x and my y and replace them. So I'm going to solve this for y. So we're going to subtract 2 from both sides. So x minus 2 equals 3y. We're going to divide both sides by 3. So y equals 1/3 x minus 2/3. This is our inverse equation. So this one will become x equals a negative y plus 7. Subtract 7 from both sides. So x minus 7 equals a negative y. Divide everything by a negative 1. So y equals negative x plus 7. So then the last one, we have x equals y squared minus 3. So we can add 3 to both sides. So x plus 3 equals y squared. So to get rid of our square, we're going to square root. So y equals plus or minus the square root of x plus 3. So now let's take a look, and we want to graph our equation and the inverse of that. So if we take the first one, x squared plus 2, let's start at negative 2. So negative 2 squared is 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. Negative 1. Negative 1 squared is 1. Plus 2 is 3. 0 squared is 0. Plus 2 is 2. 1 squared is 1, plus 2 is 3. 2 squared is 4, plus 2 is 6. So let's graph our first equation. So negative 2, 6. Negative 1, 3. 0, 2. 1, 3. And 2, 6. So here's our parabola from our quadratic. Now let's find the inverse of this. So we have x equals y squared plus 2. Subtract 2. So x minus 2 equals y squared. So y equals the square root of x minus 2. So here we have to be careful, because remember, we can't square root negative numbers. So that means we can't have any values of x that's less than 2. So I'm going to start at 2. 2 minus 2 is 0, and the square root of 0 is 0. 3. 3 minus 2 is 1, and the square root of 1 is 1. Let's pick, so we have good square roots. Let's do 6. So 6 minus 2 is 4, and the square root of 4 is 2. Then let's do 11. 11 minus 2 is 9. The square root of 9 is 3. So if we graph this, we're at 2, 0, 3, 1, 6, 2, and 11, 3. So there's our inverse. And let's look at these last 3 examples for the day. So first we want to find the domain and the range of f. So our domain is a set of all numbers that are greater than or equal to, so x has to be greater than or equal to negative 3. Remember, since we're dealing with the square root, so x has to be greater than or equal to negative 3. And our range is a set of non-negative numbers, so that means y is greater than or equal to 0. So let's find the inverse. So x equals the square root of y plus 3. I want to square both sides. So x squared equals y plus 3. Subtract 3. So y equals x squared minus 3. So that's our inverse. So to find the domain and the range of an inverse, the domain is the range of our function. So we have x has to be greater than or equal to 0. And our range is our domain. So y is greater than or equal to a negative 3.